So we call it a darkness to light story, because it gets pretty dark in the beginning and we want people to know that it gets better. But my co-founder Karen and I have been friends for 17 years. We have met over a joint passion over contemporary arts. We used to go see a lot of art together. And 17 years ago, my older daughter was born with a rare genetic syndrome called Angelman syndrome. It really provided a lot of limitations. She's profoundly disabled. She can't speak. She can't do any activities of daily living. But a symptom of her syndrome is happiness. So she wakes up every day joyful to see the world, and it's lovely to have her as part of my family. Fast forward to 11 years ago, my husband of decades woke up at the age of 50, and he had a massive bilateral stroke, and what ended up profoundly disabled, unable to speak, unable to do any activities of daily living. And then 3 years after that, Karen's husband lost his life due to a severe depression and mental illness. And then 9 months after that, her cousin was murdered in the Parkland school shooting.
Wow.
So as friends, you know who your friends are when you go through
Yeah.
major trauma.
Yeah.
And I like to think too that also when you're down and out, like you can really trust someone. And Karen was at her house when a friend came over with her 10-year-old daughter, and she had slime with her. And Karen was playing with her daughter after being severely depressed herself and just almost unable to carry on. And the next thing she knew, her friend was leaving. And she's like, "Why are you leaving? You just got here." And she's like, "You've been playing with my daughter for 4 hours." And Karen was like, "What? I feel really good.
Hmm.
I got to bring this to Sarah." So she started to become what's known as an adult slimer, ordering slime from all over the internet, from Etsy sites. She brought it to me and my two girls. So I had my older one who's disabled and my younger one, and we would just sit there and talk and play. And what we realized one day is that my older daughter with the syndrome was playing equally with my typically developing daughter, and they were having a relationship and connecting over slime. And it was at that moment that we said, we have to bring this everywhere. This is something for adults. It's for families to come together. It's about connecting with yourself, like Karen did originally, and connecting with others, like we saw my daughters doing. I think when the light bulb went off, a year later, we opened our doors. Everything from raising money, writing the business plan, designing it, building it, launching it, the works.
So that's an incredible story, and it's more than a story. You lived it. You are living it. How did you how did you find hope in the middle of that? All that's going on. Was it that moment you saw like people losing themselves in what you're doing and finding their own happiness there? Where was that moment you went, okay, I see hope rising again? Because I feel like there must have been some parts in there that were pretty hopeless.
One thing that I found out through this process is I'm super optimistic. So I think hopefulness is inside me. And I think for any entrepreneur out there, you wake up thinking things are going to work, because
Yeah.
otherwise you wouldn't do crazy things. And opening an experience, an immersive experience around slime is crazy. If we knew what we were doing, or, you know, no one normal would do this. It's a true act of hopefulness, right?
Can confirm. Yeah.
So we well, I don't think we really knew what we were building until we opened our door on the first day, and we had 3,000 people outside, and Karen and I were inside at what we call Lake Sloomoo, which is a lake of 300 gallons of slime. And these kids were just jumping up and down and up and down. And she and I held hands and started crying, because we realized like we had done it. We had brought this to the world and other people liked it too.
Yep.
So it was a great feeling. And the reason I like to tell the story about our friendship and what we went through is it's hard to do something that's never been done before if you don't have complete trust with your co-founder. And Karen and I have this level of trust it's unbelievable.